Hello friends, welcome back or welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be giving you my ultimate guide to the Addicted / Calloway Sisters series. Let's get into it. Okay friends, this is one of my all-time favorite romance series, hands down. I've read it probably 3 times now, and I just want to stay in this world forever. So I'm going to be giving you the correct reading order, what each book is about, the characters, the background, everything that you need to know before you dive in. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a breakdown of who the characters are and what their books are, and then I'll go through the reading order and a little bit about each book so you know what you're getting into. So first, we have Lily and Lauren. Their books are the Addicted series books, which includes Addicted to You, Ricochet, Addicted for Now, Thrive, and the final book of their individual stories is Addicted After All. The other characters we have are Connor Cobalt and Rose Calloway. Rose Calloway is Lily's older sister. Connor is introduced in Addicted to You, and he's working as Lily's tutor, and then he becomes best friends with Lo. And their books that focus on them are Kiss the Sky and Fuel the Fire. And then the other 2 characters we have are Daisy Calloway, which is Rose and Lily's youngest sister, and Ryke Meadows, who is Lauren's half-brother. Okay? And their books are Hot House Flower and Long Way Down. Technically, the Addicted series and the Calloway Sisters series are 2 separate series, but the best way to read them is to intersperse the books so you can get a feeling of what's going on and find the timeline. For the reading order, you should start with Addicted to You. This is Lily and Lauren's first book. And like I said, each character is featured in all of the books, but the timelines and the way they progress, this is the best way to read them. So the first book is Addicted to You. This follows Lily and Lo. Lily is a sex addict and Lo is an alcoholic. And I feel like most people read this book and they don't continue on in the series because this book is rough. Lily and Lo are deep seated in their addictions, and they don't want to change, and they're not looking to change, and they're both enabling each other. And Lily and Lo have been best friends their whole life, and they're fake dating and lying to their parents and their friends so that they can keep enabling each other's addictions, basically. So they live together on campus at college, and they're both just basically drowning themselves in their addictions. So they're not likable in this book. You do not see their personalities. You do not like them. They're kind of insufferable. They're frustrating. But I personally, as someone who has had family members and friends deal with addiction, I thought this was a very accurate portrayal of what it's like seeing someone you love going through addiction and dealing with it when they don't want to change and they don't want to see what's wrong and they just want to keep living their lives. It was so gut-wrenching for me, and I ate it up. The first time I read this, I gave it 3 stars, but on my rereads, I gave it at 4, mostly because I know what's coming. But yeah, if you hate this book, trust me, the character development Lily and Lo have across this entire series is honestly unmatched. I've never read character development like it in my life. The journey these 2 go on, healing and otherwise, is phenomenal. So at the end of Addicted to You, we lead right into Ricochet. And in this book, everyone is starting to help Lily and Lo deal with their addictions and trying to get them the help they need and support them. But we're still in the thick of it. This is a novella, and it's pretty much all about Lily's journey once Lo has gone away to rehab, and she's still dealing with her addictions and hasn't got them under control and trying to figure out the way. And so it's very intense and very difficult. Also, I feel like at this point I need to give a little background about the Calloway sisters in general. So Lily, Rose, and Daisy are all Calloway sisters, and their dad owns basically what we would say would be Coke or Pepsi, and it's Fizzle, so it's a giant drink company. So they're billionaire heiresses. They have a lot of money because their dad has a lot of money. But they've never been super famous. They're just kind of the Paris Hiltons or something, the background children of really rich people. Lauren's dad owns Halco, which makes all kinds of baby products. So he is, again, also a trust fund baby. And so they have not been famous, but they've been in the background of news stories or whatever because they're rich and have so much money and are privileged, etc. So Then we get into Addicted for Now. Again, this is Lily and Lo focused. They are dealing with their addictions, trying to grow as people. However, in this book, Lily's sex addiction gets released to the public. So everyone finds out. It's a huge news story. All these things are happening. And this book kind of deals with them figuring out how to grapple with that, finding out who's the one who released it, all of these things. I cried so hard. Then you stop. You pause Lily and Lo's books, and the next book you're going to dive into is Kiss the Sky. This is Rose and Connor's first book. And so basically, this book is dealing with the aftermath of Lily's sex addiction being released. And so Rose is a fashion designer, and she had gotten a deal with Macy's and all these other places to have her shows in her clothes in stores and stuff, and they dropped her when Lily's sex addiction became public. So Rose is trying to figure out ways to like garner support and interest back in her clothes design, etc. And she decides to do a reality TV show about her and her sisters and their boyfriends. And so she gets them all to sign a contract. They're all going to be forced to live in this one house together and film this reality show. Rose is also a virgin. She's never had sex. She is dating Connor, but she's scared to be loved. So all these different things are battling within this book. I relate to Rose Calloway Cobalt so much. Rose is technically the second oldest daughter, but the oldest daughter, Poppy, is like so much older and so removed from the story that she just doesn't really get involved that much. So Rose feels like the eldest daughter. And I think Rose Calloway Cobalt is one of my favorite characters of all time. She is referred to as an ice queen, which I get, but also she is the type of person that loves her with her whole chest. The people that she wants to love will die for them, will fight for them. And I think that kind of love is the kind of love that I feel towards others, where you're like willing to like do whatever it is to protect them. And I see that in Rose so much. She is the oldest sister, in that way she's going to do whatever she can for her sisters. And I love the way that Connor loves her. Their relationship is super witty and intellectual and full of banter. Some of the best banter I've ever read. I laughed so hard in this book at times, and I loved the reality show setting. I thought it was super fun and unique, and it was just a good time. So after that, you're going to read Hothouse Flower, which is the first Daisy and Ryke book. And this one is really controversial for people. I don't care. I'm a Ryke Meadows stan. I will lay down my life for that man. If you hate him, this is probably not the page for you. So Daisy was younger than 18 in the first couple books, but she was a supermodel that traveled the world, so people always over-sexualized her, treated her like she was older. She felt trapped in a cage by her mom in the modeling industry, and like she was only good enough for her face, even though it's not what brought her joy. Ryke is Lauren's older half-brother, and he has the biggest heart out of any character. Like, he loves his family so much, and he loves Lauren and is dedicated to helping him stay sober, but he also finds a thread of like connection between him and Daisy, because they're both super adventurous, and he sees her when no one else does, because so much gets put about Lily and Rose that Daisy kind of falls to the background. And so in this book, she's finally 18, he is 23. They are forced proximity because she's living in the apartment below him, and they've always been fighting their feelings because she was younger than 18 and he wasn't going to pass that line, but she has always had a crush on him, and now she's 18, they're living close together, and he sees her for who she is even though no one else does. So they start dating, but they don't want to tell anyone because they know that the reaction will not be good. And so they're like fake dating during this whole thing, and there's a scene where Connor like finds out and walks in on them that literally kills me. Like, I crack up to this day. And then the whole revelation of Lauren finding out that Daisy and Ryke are dating, and the world, and there are just so many different things within this book that make it amazing, a 5-star read. And I love the way that Ryke and Daisy love each other. I really feel like each couple's love in this series is so different, and that's what makes it so compelling, because you're not feeling like you're reading the same couple over and over again. You really feel like you're experiencing all these different love stories, and it's just written so well. After that, you're going to go back into Lily and Lo's point of view, and you're going to read Thrive, which this book is all of the events of Kiss the Sky and Hothouse Flower from Lily and Lo's perspective. So you get the reality TV show from their perspective, you get all of the stuff with Ryke and Daisy from their perspective, and it's just like them dealing with it while everything else that you already know is going on happened. Next, you're gonna read Addicted After All, which is the final book in Lillian Lowe's point of view. And this is really where you get to see their character development like shine. You see where they've come, how far they've come, all of their growth. They get their like happy ending, and it's just perfect. I thought it was a perfect conclusion to their point of view. I love Lillian Lowe. They're such nerds, and they're so different from a typical like romance couple, I feel like. And reading their story, once they get past all of their issues, it's just wholesome. And I love that it's honest about what it's like to struggle with addiction, because they still struggle and they're always adjusting and figuring out ways to make it better, but they're so dedicated and their support system is so strong that you can see that they're thriving. So after that, you finish Lillian Lowe's point of view and you're going straight into Fuel the Fire, which is the second book from Rose and Connor's point of view. And it is super emotional. Let's just say that. There are a lot of reveals. There are a lot of things happening. There are a lot of stories and like tabloids about all the other characters, and Rose and Connor are kind of like the mom and dad of the group, so they want to protect them. So they're offering to sell stories to keep those out. And so a lot of things are revealed, harsh truths, there's family dynamics, there's betrayals. It's just a fun time, and Rose and Connor are amazing. Like, I just love them. Again, their banter is so good. It just keeps you entertained, and it's amazing. Then you get to Long Way Down, which is this final book that is solely in Daisy and Ryke's point of view. And I feel like, personally, this is the most emotional book in the entire series. One, because Daisy is dealing with depression, and I feel like the way her depression was written was very relatable and very honest, and it's so hard to see a character like Daisy, who is the sunshine and the happiness and the adventure, and reconcile that with the girl who doesn't want to get out of bed and doesn't want to be intimate and all these things. And I think that that was really a great way to portray her, because I relate to that with my own battle with depression, and I thought that I really saw myself in Daisy in that way, and the way that Ryke wants to help her but knows that he is not always the solution. And also, it has one of the biggest jaw-dropping moments, and I literally cried so hard. I still haven't recovered. I love Sully so much. You find out who he is and just prepare your heart. Like, I'll never be over it. I seriously bawled my eyes out. And I thought that it also dealt with Ryke's journey with depression and recovery and healing really well with what he goes through in this book. And so this is, like I said, definitely the most emotional in the series, and it's phenomenal. It's the perfect way to close out their core story here. And then you get to book number 10, which is Some Kind of Perfect. And honestly, I want to petition for every author to do this. This is like an epilogue novel. She's a thick girl, but it follows every single couple and individual person and their journey after the events of the 9 main books. So their journey with their kids and their family and growing older and all these things. And I absolutely ate it up. I loved seeing them as parents. I loved seeing where they go from here and what they're doing. I thought it was so fun to have this not be a novella, but a full-on novel, and get more than just like the pregnancy in the house. Like, you really see them as parents and as adults and navigating all these harsh situations. And I loved that. I ate it up. It was the perfect conclusion to the series. I couldn't get enough. 5 out of 5 stars. And if you haven't got enough after you read the core 6 and their stories and you want more in this world, I highly recommend the Bad Reputation duet. So these are my Eternal Inbox special editions because they look like comic books. I'm obsessed with them. But this little duet follows Willow, who is Lowe and Ryke's half-sister, and Garrison Abbey, who you meet in the other books. And honestly, I love this duet almost as much as the main series. You get a lot of the past of them in high school and stuff, and you see their relationship with the core 6 and how they've impacted them. Honestly, for me, I highly recommend reading this before Some Kind of Perfect, because I feel like there are things in the end that will spoil like after Some Kind of Perfect, but not truly. And I liked reading these before you got to the epilogue moments in Some Kind of Perfect that like mention moments in here. And this book is good girl, bad boy. Fake dating at the beginning, but opposites attract. They start dating, they fall in love. He's being like reformed playboy isn't the right word, but like reformed bad boy, I guess is. And just the way that they bring them into the found family and love them, I ate it up. These books are so good. And definitely, if you want to be back in the world with these characters, you need to read these. There are also 2 spin-off series, the Leica series, which I have over there, but it's like 13 books, so I'm not going to hold them up. I'll just put a bunch of them on the screen here. The Leica series follows their kids, and most of them are bodyguard kid relationships because after the reality show and all that, they all got super famous. And that's one part of the storyline that I feel like is a little over the top and silly, but still super fun, and I enjoyed it. And the Leica series, I personally don't think is as good as the Addicted Calloway Sisters series, but you get more Addicted Calloway Sisters Core 6 fun, as well as seeing the kids grow up, and it's all about them and relationships with their bodyguards, etc. And then the first book, I don't even know where it's at, it's over there. The first book in the Cobalt Empire just dropped. It's Burn Bright. I'm halfway through it. I'm absolutely loving it. But this series is going to be about each of the Cobalt siblings, which is super awesome for me because Rose and Connor are my favorites, so I cannot wait to dive in and keep reading about them. All in all, this series is one of my all-time favorite romance series. Kiss the Sky is a Roman Empire book for me. If you love romance, if you love character development and growth, like, this is the series for you, and I highly recommend you pick it up. Let me know what you think. If you've read this series, who is your favorite? Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys soon.